Something was happening that would change the world forever. A mother named Maya was in a deep slumber while the light of the full moon shone upon her. She began to have a wondrous dream of a white elephant with 6 tusks. The light of the elephant dissolved into Maya and filled her with a sense of calm she had never felt before. A prince had been born, and his name was Siddhartha. In the moonlit garden stood an old wise sal tree. The tree bent down and embraced Maya and Siddhartha. Then animals from all over the jungle gathered in the garden to greet the prince, for they knew someone special had just come into the world. They all knew the prince had come at exactly the right time, to exactly the right garden, to exactly the right mother and father.
There was a flyer with a hand that was holding a bird on a refrigerator. And I said, "What's that?" A friend of mine said, "Oh, there's a new school that's going to open in Saugerties. Have you heard of it?" And I said, "No, tell me about it." And she said, "Well, it's a Buddhist school."
I really wanted a school with a spiritual or ethical framework. And in a moment of frustration, I said, why can't there be Buddhist schools like there's Catholic schools? Like, why doesn't this exist? And about a week later, I saw a post on Facebook that said, Middle Way School, Buddhist school opening in the Hudson Valley.
And you ran downstairs. You were so excited.
So we were pretty excited right from the get-go.
From the get-go.
And my wife and I have a connection to the Buddhist community. Have done a fair amount of practicing over the years, and so we were very curious to investigate. And once here, we just knew it would be the right fit for her.
I specifically chose the school because much of the way they teach and their practices are in line with what I do at home. So the transition, I think, is going to be rather smooth. I think also the environment, I wanted to interact with other kids in a more safer, gentler way compared to the average, school that we have around here where there's, kids are growing up really fast. Whereas here I feel they keep their innocence a lot easier.
But it's about our children. It's not necessarily, we don't all have to
faith.
Yeah, we don't or we don't have to all agree on what kind of Buddhism we particularly decide to follow or whether we follow it at all, but there's a certain amount of kind of shared values that's involved with this kind of thing about our children.
I want my children to be in a classroom environment where they are tackling big ideas and big questions and not having it limited to human beings. I want them to have this far-ranging perspective of how everything is connected and how everything impacts everything else in a really intentional way. Refuge. Yeah, it's a shelter. Great. Oh, it makes you safe. And at Middle Way, refuge is inside of you. You actually have an internal refuge. I doubt that that's something that they're talking about at other schools. And I'm really grateful that my children are learning that there's an important refuge inside of them and that it's always there.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. You?
My name is Bella.
Ella. Oh, that's easier.
My name is Quinn.
Quinn.
Why do you use 2 canes?
Why do I use 2 canes? Why do you have 2 legs? Ask them some questions.
Are you going to ask them questions?
What's your name? I can't remember.
My name.
Your real name?
My real name is Jigme.
Jigme? That's a nice name.
No. Jig means fear in Tibetan, and me means no fear.
So it means fearless.
Is having a llama visit better or worse than falling out of a tree?
Better.
Is having a llama visit better or worse?
Better.
Okay, friends. Shall we begin?
Yes.
Let's sit up tall. And settle into your body. Notice how still can you make your body. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. She had some amount of feathers. She already had this many. But for her birthday, Willow gave her this many more. Are we ready? Are we ready to solve this story?
I am astounded at how much academic learning is happening here. It's more than I expected, honestly. There's just so much learning and there's so much curiosity about it. She's just thrilled to come home and share the math projects and problems that she's been working out, and the reading is, she's just so excited about it. So there's the academics, and then there's the love and the curiosity and the playfulness that is also layered into how they're being taught, that is really gratifying to witness.
Tell me about this. What is it? How many are there?
What's really important to me about learning is that, an environment should really support a child in understanding and figuring out how to learn, as opposed to specifically what to learn.
Let me get counted. 4 mousey, 5 mousey.
And that really involves supporting a child's natural curiosities and creativity, because our desire to learn and understand and discover and create is inherent.
So everyone made their prayer bundles yesterday. Everyone put their wishes in there for what this next year will bring. We can each one by one maybe come up and put our offering into the fire.
I think of school as how do you help children want to learn, which is kind of crazy in a way, because we're learning creatures, I mean, that's what we do. So it's, in a sense, it's how do we not dampen that natural enthusiasm for learning.
I am imagining that the school will continue to grow and continue to add grades and draw students and different types of students from the area, but also potentially other parts of the country.
It's about a kind of ethic, a kind of heart that's about respecting people, respecting all sentient life, heart-centered and compassion, and to me that's an incredibly attractive way to live.
They do a morning run in the morning where they run around the woods, and I have sat in the car, watched her do her run and just cried with gratitude that this is the beginning of her day, this is where she is, and just feeling so grateful for this opportunity for her and for our family.